now been a few months since I completed the Torsion Box Assembly Table top, and it's been fantastic. I have assembled a number of projects on here, from cabinets and tables, and knowing that this surface is perfectly flat has been great for assembling those projects. My old top was decidedly not flat, and that was trouble for trying to do any kind of assembly. I'd often resort to using the floor, which is a poured concrete floor. So this has been just awesome. The height's been great, pretty high, so everything's right in front of me, and it's been wonderful. The one downside so far is this front vise. I just reattached it in the same location where it was on the old bench, and the problem is this bench is quite a bit, the tabletop here is quite a bit deeper, taller than the old one was just about a couple inches, and this is about 4 or 5 inches. So this vise is now sitting below the top, and that's been a real problem if I want to use any of the dogs, which I'd like to start using. I haven't drilled them yet, but I do want to do that. However, this front dog here won't even reach above the surface. So I need to raise this vise up, and also this back jaw is proud of the surface, and I'd like to inset that so that the back jaw is perfectly flat with this front surface, so I can clamp some longer boards across the whole front. So I need to raise it up and inset it a little bit. It shouldn't be too tricky. It's attached with a couple of bolts, and I put in filler blocks where those bolts go. So the process should be as simple as flipping this top over, marking where I need to remove some material in order to inset this and raise it up, and then reattaching it. I've now got the tabletop upside down, and I need to raise this from the underside about 1.5 inches, and luckily that's less than these bars, so I only need to cut out around this metal to recess these metal portions on each side. And then I need to move it back about 5/8 of an inch, so I'll redo these bolt holes and, you know, cut out the front apron to recess the whole thing. I've cut through the front apron, and just so happens that's the exact amount that I needed to recess the vise. So that worked out perfectly for me. And then I started taking out the bulk of the material here. I tried the router first, quickly realized that's going to take forever. So grabbed the drill, the Forstner bit, and took out the bulk to approximate depth, leaving it short. Ran through a battery very quickly on my Festool. Remembered, of course, I had a corded drill, pulled that out, and got rid of the bulk of this. Used the vacuum while I was doing it, trying to pull the chips away. Now I think I'll go back to the router and clean all this up, and I don't think that'll take too long at this point. I've now got the recess created, both the front by cutting the cherry apron, and the bottom by using a combination of Forstner bit and router and even chisel and hammer. I set the depth of the bit so I got a nice clean bottom. However, because the recess is so large, I should have routed sort of from front to back so I had a good support for the base. I did not do that. I sort of just was taking the whole thing at the same time. So the very middle section here, right in here, ended up just doing by hand with the chisel and got it pretty close to the bottom. It's definitely, this vise really heavy, and it's seating very well, so I'm not worried about any slight differences in the depths. Now I just need to reattach it with the bolts, both 2 in the bottom and 2 from the front. Flip it over and we should be done. I've now got the whole vise back together, the top reattached. I even put on a piece of leather here to the back jaw. It is pretty flush with this front apron, and put a piece of wood here on the front jaw. So this should work. This is just a hair under the hardboard top here, and obviously the dog will now be above here, so when I put some row of bench dogs here on the top, I can now use this. All in all, really happy with that. It took me a couple hours between flipping it over, recessing the whole thing, putting it back together. Didn't come across any problems in this, so now my vise is going to be a lot more user-friendly.